Honkai Star Rail has been out for an entire year now, and wait, what? God, that went by fast. Sorry, let's try that again. Honkai Star Rail has been out for an entire year now, and in that year, a lot of characters have released with a little power creep. And since it's been 6 months since I made my last power creep video, and I'm kinda desperate for views, I figured now would be the perfect time to look back to the last 6 months and see how the game has changed, for better or for worse. Now, as mentioned, I already made a power creep video 6 months after the launch of the game, so we won't look back at the power creep since the release of the game back in 2023. Instead, we will be looking at it from where we left off, which is from the release of Topaz all the way to the active banner release at the time of writing the script, which is the Acheron banner. And in an effort to try and organize my thoughts in some way, I will be tackling everything in 3 different categories, those being damage characters, support characters, and sustain characters. Now that we've laid some ground rules, let's see where I left off with the last video so we have our baseline to compare the newly released characters. Looking back to where we left off with the last video with damage characters, Dan Hung Il and Jing Liu were on top with everyone else struggling to keep up. Now, we have some light releases in the DPS category since my last video, with a lot of the newer releases being focused on supports and sustainers, trying to flesh out the cast in every playstyle, which is great. It just makes this damage character-based section a little shorter. That being said, we have a total of 5 DPS characters released since the last time I talked about power creep. So let's see how those 5 characters are fucking breaking the game. Starting with Topaz, who, as mentioned in the last video, is just kinda okay. She fits a very weird but interesting niche that pairs really well with other characters that I'll talk about later in the video. She's nothing game-breaking, and honestly, she gets my stamp of approval for a fun and balanced unit. Good job, Hoyoverse. Next on the list is Argenti, a physical erudition character who, honestly, without the release of Pure Fiction with his banner, this guy would have been in the fucking dumps. His numbers are once again okay, but put him in Pure Fiction where content is literally tailored for AoE damage. This man slaps so fucking hard. All in all, Hoyo were incredibly smart with releasing him when they did, as he's probably the strongest AoE character in the game, and he had released right when AoE was the hottest topic in the game. Next on the chopping block is Dr. Ratio, and before this man's banner even released, this dude single-handedly power-crept Genshin's generosity.
Knowledge, the measure of truth, and falsehood.
Genshin could never. Anyway, this man also hits some pretty decent numbers and fits the same niche as Topaz does, which makes them an incredible duo, dealing some of the craziest single-target boss-shredding damage in the game, if done correctly, mind you. There's still a bit of nuance to it. Yeah. Next on the list is Black Swan, and oh no. So, Hoyoverse added an actual fucking nuclear bomb to the game. Sampo is now officially the Trash King, not because he's a rat, but because with the release of Black Swan, Hoyoverse has officially dumpstered him. And for the low price of pairing your Black Swan with Kafka, you can turn your level 1 nuke into a level 500 BFG 5000. But hey, it's okay, because 2 banners later, Hoyoverse just decided to release a character that traumatized Black Swan in lore and in damage. We're talking about Acheron, Hoyoverse's most recent character release, and well, I don't think I need to explain more. Did I mention she's supposed to be Nihility? Well, after the treat that is DPS is getting power crept out of the fucking universe, there's no way they took Bronya, the strongest support character in the game at the time of my last video, that was insanely broken since release and almost irreplaceable and one of the most beloved units in the game. There's no way they power crept her, right?
right?
Let's look at Ruan Mei, the first of the new Harmon characters released. She has so many buffs, and her main focus of her ability is to buff allies' weakness break efficiency. Her base damage boosts and all type res penetration buffs has landed her as the staple support for dual DPS comps, changing the meta of the game since her release. Next busted support release is Sparkle. This batshit insane bitch is Bronya 2.0. In fact, she does the same thing, but is also skill point positive. And thank God a third Harmony character hasn't released, because they're only getting stronger. And there totally isn't one around the corner that we should all be super concerned about. Everything is fine. Lastly, I'm going to quickly talk about Huo Huo. She is the only new sustained character released in the last 6 months, even though Aventurine is right around the corner. She's very good and power crept even Wojo, which with insane healing and buffs with energy regen, but being fair, there isn't really much competition for her to go against, so there's not really that much of a baseline for her to power creep. So, where are we with power creep? Well, in every category, characters are just getting stronger in a big way. So, it's not looking too good. Hopefully, Hoyoverse can find their balance quickly, because we are setting up for some major periods of reverse power creep, and I guess we'll just have to buckle up and find out. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and if you did, subscribe. It helps us both, and just do it, yeah. I can't wait to hear what you think about in the comments below, and I will catch you guys in the next video.